Fam, what's happening, squad? Guys, I got a lot of trade setups for you today. I am still sitting in the longs that I took 2 days ago. Obviously, the markets are red, it's quite scary, but for me, I look at opportunities to build trades. So I'm still in a bunch of my Solana trades here on Bybit as well as here on 𝗏𝗏 as well. I'm still very happy with this entry, catching the absolute bottom. Which is insane. But I want to speak to you guys around, today's going to make a decision for me to hold these trades, right? Because again, we gotta now understand that there is more support sitting at 85,000 on Bitcoin. Okay, but we are now starting to approach a breakout trend, which means by later on today, we're going to kind of have a good understanding if we are wanting to go up first before possibly coming down and catching liquidity, okay, or we're going to come down and fill that liquidity first before we should think of any upside. So I want to pay attention today to showing you guys these breakout levels, because if we start to break out, there is a lot of opportunity trades. I'm seeing 20, 30, 40 altcoins all sitting on the verge of a breakout, which means there's some money to be made and using this redness as an opportunity. On the other side of that as well, we need to have an emergency line, okay, to know that should I possibly take profits on these trades? Should I wait for entries down lower? I want to speak about golden pockets, how all of these altcoins on weekly are back in the golden pockets. And before this, we've had 3 pullbacks. We had the one that happened in December or January this year. Remember, we had 6 months of downside. Alts went to golden pocket from there. They made new highs, right? The time before that, when we had the bank collapses, and last year, I think it was around August, where things were quite tough before Trump walked in, we dropped down and alts came down 50% into the golden pockets, right? Alts are yet again at the golden pockets. And I want us to know that these opportunities don't come too often. And if we get the breakout, we must be confident to use these opportunities. So guys, trade setups today, right? Let's make some money back. Let's use some trading to go, and also reality check of where we actually at. Everyone is capitulating. Everyone's turning bearish. We need to make sure, okay, before we turn bearish, right, we need to look at the other side too. It's very important to look at the other side, because when the markets turn bearish, markets go bullish. Right, when the markets are bullish, markets turn bearish. So guys, missed you all. Hoping you're all having a great day. I'm happy to be back. I'm feeling a little bit more energized today. Had some rest, and I'm ready to trade. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Welcome to Sheldon Show.
𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 fam, brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Guys, like the video up, keep fighting, keep pushing. Okay, guys, so a couple of things. Yesterday was a big announcement on 𝗦𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Again, if you were not part of that, 𝗦𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has turned free. This is a premium product that is there for you guys. And to be honest, it's a true community. Yeah, we have YouTube, and YouTube's cool, but if you actually want to be in chats, you actually want to be involved in trade setups, in live tradings, in having people around you that can be trading their accounts, share their opinions. When big crashes happen and you're panicking, you get the view of those that have been here for a while, right? Guys that have gone through these periods. And I spoke very much yesterday around, people that have been through this before have somehow succeeded and changed their lives after that, right? So it's not like this is something new where the market has just turned on us and gone bearish all of a sudden. It has happened before, but it's important for you to mentally upgrade and to be around those who are successful. Something that changed my life this year a lot is I joined the entrepreneurs group, right, outside of crypto and all of these things. And what this is it's an organization where you get assigned with business buddies, right? They make like a little forum of 7 or 8 people, and they become your new business buddies. And once a month we meet up and we go through a bunch of different things, maybe personal, business, all these type of things. But I managed to sit around those who have built successful businesses over 20, 30 years, right? And I can just tell you, I love my friends to bits. Some of them may be watching, some of them not, right? But they're friends. We have fun. We do these type of things together. But the difference between being around them versus being around the business buddies is when it comes to serious things happening in life, to have this experience around you and to have these people around you, your confidence goes to another level, your knowledge goes to another level, okay? And the game starts to get a lot easier. So by us now having this community that was pay gated and was built over the last year or two, right? Now you have access to that, right? I don't think there is a better Black Friday special in the market than making a premium group free, right? So I want to remind you again, here is the 𝗦𝗔𝗔𝗥𝗧. What we've done is we have made a waiting list, and we're going to be releasing in the next few days a whole bunch of people in. You can now be a part of this incredible community, incredible product for free. The way you get it for free is opening up an exchange link with 𝗏𝗏𝗀. In the description of the show, you'll find a 𝗏𝗏𝗀 link, right? And the whole point of this is we will make percentage on your fees, right? And what that does, because remember, I'm going to take a massive knock for paying. There's a lot of staff that's in 𝗦𝗔𝗔𝗥𝗧, right? But if we succeed with you and you end up doing very well, right, and you end up growing your accounts and you end up doing things, we will make money on fees, correct? If you do not, right, we will not make any money. And what that does is it brings it back to the truth of why I joined this industry. I joined this industry to try and make a difference, to show that somehow I managed to get it right, and I'm only going to teach my views and the way it's worked for me, right? But then we thought club could be something bigger, because now you have thousands of people's successes, right? You have access to more people, more relatable things that kind of suit, right? So the whole model behind this thing is you open up exchange accounts, you deposit any amount that you want to trade with, right? You get into club for free. If you don't want to use an exchange account, you can pay $130, right, to get into the account. But for me, I'm very proud that we can have a free version, because I want you guys all there, right? I want you to keep fighting through these hard times. I want us to be jumping on live streams and all these things. And there's so many guys that are doing the live tradings every day. Okay, so you go to the link below in the description, okay, and you say, I want to join 𝗦𝗔𝗔𝗥𝗧. You click on this over here. It takes you to a website, okay, and from there you click, I want to be a part of the community. You just put in your email, okay, and we'll send you through the details of getting verified and getting into club. This is about to be the most powerful community in crypto trading, right? Again, as well, when things are free, some people like to come in. The amount of moderating and the amount of systems we have set here, if anyone is here to talk crap or be ugly to others, I'm bringing football rules into it. You know, the yellow card and the red card, right? So if you come and you start to create poison inside of the group, you get yellow card, okay? And if you do it one more time, red card, you are gone and you'll never be able to get back into the community. This is a place for those that want to change their lives, right? We're making it free, you know, and people always say if you pay for something, people pay more attention. I don't believe that, right? I truly believe that we can create a free product and something that's incredible for all of us to be together. So the moderating is going to be on a high level. Everything's going to be incredible. You're going to have a 𝗦𝗔𝗔𝗥 app on your phone, right? So not many know this. 𝗦𝗔𝗔𝗥 app on your phone. On there is the streams, the calls, the charts, the indicators, the bots, that full 𝗦𝗔𝗔𝗥 app on your phone, one place, and you have access to everything. So I'm very proud of that. So in the description below, you can join that. Best Black Friday special that we can offer in this market. The next one, guys, is 𝗏𝗏𝗏funded. This is a way if you want to leverage trade, stop losing your own money, right? You have an opportunity here. Just want to show you guys here. Okay, you have an opportunity. Let's click on over here. Okay, these different accounts, $99 with a one step. You pass through the one step, you can trade to $5,000 after that. So what it teaches you is don't use your own $5,000. Pay $99, pass the level, and trade with that capital, right? The system is designed to make you a better trader. So the deal that we have and what I'm doing, you know, I've bought a bunch of accounts and I'm going to be buying a lot more accounts too. So here I have 2 accounts, okay? And now on Black Friday, we have the guys bringing an incredible special here where you buy any of the 3 accounts and you get 6. You get 3 for free, right? Incredible. And what these things do not expire. So you can see these, I haven't traded them. I just have them. So if this market tanks to $50,000 on Bitcoin, I have accounts here to take advantage of it, right? I'm giving myself lives. Therefore, I can build 10 of these things and have them here. There's no expiry date on them. I have them. So if I ever need them, they are here, right? These specials, if we have a look again, we are sitting 5 days out. So again, you go below in the description just to show you guys before we jump into the charts. Okay, here's 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 over here. Click on this link, and that's how you get access to that. Guys, let's share the love. Let's get all the tools we need, and let's set ourselves up for success. Okay, let's jump through. So first thing I want to quickly chat about, okay, is I want to chat around golden pockets. Don't forget that the market is in golden pockets, right? If you just look at years now, the last 2 years, golden pockets have been the best time to invest in altcoins, right? And again, if you bought $10,000 higher up, Okay, and you can put in $500 today. That $500 is going to make a big difference, right? Because you're buying something that's possibly 50, 60% lower than what it was. By the time things recover over time, do I have conviction that Solana will be back at 300 in the future? Yes, I have conviction it'll be at 600, right? And that for me is an important thing, that if I had $500 now, 10,000 I put higher, I'm in a loss, but I can put $500 in now. By the time we get back up, that 500 could be 2,000, right? You're going to actually be up in money, right? Even though you don't have anywhere as much money as what you could have put previously, right? Golden pockets. So I want to speak about golden pockets here. Let's go through Bitcoin's golden pockets, right? All the way from here, and I'll show you this one hit golden pocket too. Okay, just want to show you guys. Okay, so all the way from getting out of this bear market. Remember, for me, we went out of a bear market, right, when we broke this level. We broke this level, we went into a trending market on Bitcoin, right? Not specifically altcoins. Altcoins, we had a bit of a rally, but we haven't had the true rally just yet. Okay, the moment we broke that, we started trending again. So don't forget that Bitcoin is trending. And then what Bitcoin did is it had a push, pull back down. Now, in this time, it grows a certain amount. Okay, in the pullback, it pulls back 60 to 70% of what it did previously. Okay, so there's the wave up, 60, 70% down, golden pocket. It's known as 2 important Fibonacci's. I don't want to go too much into that. If you want to learn more about that, there is school, right, to know how to draw these type of things. The main concept here is when we have a rally, we do tend to pull back 60 to 70% of that rally, right? From there, we went and rallied up another push to the upside, right? We came back again. This one came back 60%, hit the top of the golden pocket. We rallied again, right? So where are we sitting today? We are sitting between the 60 and the 75% ratio over here. Okay. At the time, what's very important is when you enter golden pockets, you want to see an oversold market. Okay. Previously here, oversold, hit golden pockets. Second one, oversold, hit golden pockets. Third one, we are here in golden pocket and market is oversold yet again. Right? So if you're a bull and a believer with me, this chart again is just telling us, hey, before you jump too quickly to conclusions that the bull is done and over, okay, just remember we ain't doing something that different to the past. Did I think we'll be higher? Yes. But again, green, when I thought we'll be higher, that was me thinking, when am I going to TP? Right? Things start to shift and go red now. This is buying. Right? So for me, it's like when things are red, I'm not thinking about selling now, thinking about exiting. No, I only exit on pumps, right? That's how it works. So even if I see that we go from here and then we do this, we want to come down, that's where I'd rather offload my long-term bags right now. People are asking, should I get out of crypto? I'll get out of crypto here rather, right? And that for me is the difference here than just getting out when something is already down 30, 40, 50%. Okay, so we are in the golden pocket with the oversold Bitcoin. Do not forget that. Right? When it comes to altcoins, this is what altcoins have done throughout the last year to 2 years. We got out of the bear, we rallied up, we dropped 60 to 70%, tapped the golden pocket. After that, we made a new high. Look how much alts pulled back from that high into the 60 to 75% box, tapped it, went. Right? Look at what happened previously. We rallied up. Big wick that came out of nowhere. We all spoke about that wick into the golden pockets. Okay, bounced. Now again, why are we coming back into it? Because this wick was too fast. Positions were not able to be built in that short period of time. So price tends to drop into these areas, right? If you look at the time before, this was a wick. Look how we came down, filled the wick, slightly lower points, and then pushed through. Okay, so again, alts are here. And for me, altcoins are still very much in a bull market. May not feel like it, okay, but zoom out and breathe, right? Because we are still in the trends, and a higher low from here, okay, we could still be seeing a higher high over the next few months. So therefore, you look at a couple of altcoins, like things like Solana. Sol is in golden pockets. Previously, Sol did rally all up to 300, came all the way down to $100. After that, went straight back up to 260, golden pockets. Right? Golden pockets, right? You'll see this with many, many, many of the altcoins. So again, huge investment opportunities right now to accumulate. Okay, if you still think there's a little bit more downside, don't accumulate it all. You got $1,000 now, put in $500. Okay, but all that I'm trying to get to here is it does not matter what you have lost. Remember, you have not lost if you have not sold. right? What we lost was liquidation wicks. That happened already. I'm over that, right? But nonetheless, what you have, if you are here and you haven't sold, you have not lost, right? But what can you do with this opportunity right now? I don't care if it's 10K here and you can put in $200 here. That $200 will make a difference, right? And that's the whole point here. What can we buy? What can we accumulate at these crazy levels? Keep that in mind, that we are at the hottest zones that the markets. And if you look at the Bitcoin dominance, we are rejecting strong. So your alts will bounce and recover. And if this decides to go down, let's speak about this for a second. Because I don't think anyone's speaking about it. They're just looking at bear, and worried, right? Because Bitcoin is now back into the 90s/80s, right? Don't forget about this Bitcoin dominance. Something that is rallied up for a long time, right? What happens, and I want to ask you all the question right now, because a chart like this, you guys know, if I see this as a chart, I'm shorting the crap out of it. You know it, right? You know that when this trend breaks and a retest, I short, okay? And if I'm shorting, what does that mean? It means that if we look at the pattern of the dominance, right, it was very much putting in these higher highs and higher lows. Okay, there was the last one there. All of a sudden, first time, lower low came into play, right? Secondly, you see this wick that pushed up, the big thing, lower high, right? So automatically, if I look at this and it was a token, not Bitcoin dominance, a token, I would be looking for this to be pushing down to these areas. And that is where I'd want to long the token, right? So looking at that now, I want to ask you the question now, right? What happens if that happens? Tell me we ain't going to see any bullishness. We ain't going to see a high break on the total 3, okay? Even if this happens and Bitcoin goes down to 70,000, your altcoins are going to hold and outperform Bitcoin by a lot, right, on this big drop here. And I'm still bullish on Bitcoin, right? I do think it's taking a pause. I do think it's slowing down. I do think it's shaking out. It's basically catching up to altcoins, right? Altcoins had that big drop that came. Bitcoin's catching up. But don't forget this. This thing drops all the way down there. Things can change very fast. And we spoke about it on the weekend when I was a bunch of the guys at the conference as well. And me and Run as well, to be like, wow, everything's so bearish. And we just said, we even looked at each other and I was like, one green candle takes it all away. Every single negativity, every single of this. One green candle changes the game. And this is why we're in crypto, because those green candles do come. And when they come, they change the game very quickly. Okay, now let's zoom in and go through a couple of things. So Bitcoin is in a hot zone. Okay, I want to speak about it. So let's go here quickly to this chart. Okay, and I just want to zoom out here. So we are entering a big pocket of a bounce zone for Bitcoin. Okay, the pocket is a little bit lower as well. So here we go. The pocket can also go down to around 85, 86,000 as well. Okay, but we've already hit a bunch of support too. So there's nothing stopping Bitcoin from bouncing here. The problem of where Bitcoin's going to struggle for a little while is the 100,000 is now resistance. So 100,000 used to be our friend. Now this is top resistance. This is where many are going to offload, right? So every time price is going to go up here, people are going to sell out of the market. Okay, there's a lot of smart investors that don't sell red, they sell green, but losing 100 was very, psychologically massive for the markets, right? We held 100 for so long. Now we lost 100. People are going very much bear market vibes, okay? Which means that I do expect at any point we bounce, we are likely to stop here, slow down. But that would be the day things change, right? We break back 100, things change. I also showed you guys again, when you look at liquidity maps, how much leverage is sitting. Look at how much is sitting at 100. So at any point now, I'm getting ready for Bitcoin to spike to 100, right? If it gets through it, one of the biggest traps this world's ever seen, right? But I do think we'll reject 100, okay? But nonetheless, there's that opportunity over there. So again, we are coming into the zone of where we can bounce, okay? I don't need to predict it, but I need to get ready for the bounce, as the bounce is going to be aggressive and quickly. We saw yesterday, the moment we saw this little bit of pushing green over here, we did see a nice Solana push quite fast, right? Solana basically recovered that last little dump quickly. Right, from there, boom, 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 boom. This is why be very careful of exiting on dumps, guys. Panic dumps, specifically spot, right? Leverage, I get it. You may want to protect. Cool. Okay, but be very careful. Look how things start to V-shape very fast, right? So going back to Bitcoin now, okay, we are hours to a day or two away from Bitcoin breaking out. Okay, so today's kind of the day if Bitcoin wants to go to that 85, 80, 87 area. It might do it today, right? But in my head, I'm preparing for the longs, right? Because you can see here that this is the trend line I want us to really pay attention to, right? We have the highs here on the 11th. We have the secondary highs on the 12th. We have on the 13th, and we have on the 17th. If you take those 3 dates, okay, and you put a line at the top there, this is going to be your breakout line. This is when Bitcoin's going to go and hunt that $100. Okay, so while I'm waiting for long term, I'm seeing what I can buy. I'm looking at how I can take this as an opportunity, right? Because again, it's very likely dominance is going to drop when that happens. Dominance has just lost another trend to the downside. It's very likely to start speeding up to the downside, right? Which means you're also going to have a nice little strong push to the up when Bitcoin's ready. We still have a few hours away here from the trend line. Okay, so it is telling us be a little bit patient when it comes to that trend. Okay, but once that trend break happens, we are seeing a very strong aggressive push. And if the market really wants to screw the market up, okay, it will break it. Right, that will screw the whole market up. Right now, max pain is to the upside. Okay, so don't be surprised if we do V-shape this baby. All right, won't that be very interesting? That will be very interesting, okay? But nonetheless, when this breaks over here, there's opportunity. Therefore, we're going to look at altcoins, okay? And we'll see that all altcoins are making this descending wedge, and we are all hours away from breaking the trend. Keep these trends in play. That's going to be your trigger for trades, right? Is when these trends start to break out. Therefore, I go through the trends, right? Solana, because again, Sheldon, which trend line are you using? What I always do is I come to the most nearest place that we're at and I look if there's a strong trend. What's a strong trend? Many touches, right? If I don't see much over here, then I zoom out and I look at, is there a bigger trend in play, right? And for me, zooming up to Sol here, right, I could very much see that this last move has put 1, 2, 3, 4 touches into play. So something like Solana, right, this is the trend I'm paying attention to. All right, I'm waiting for this. That is going to be the execution point, or back at the support levels of where we obviously bounced previously. But now let's go through a bunch of other alts. All right, let's go through Dash. So here's Dash, same thing. I'm zooming in. I know we're getting ready for a bounce. I'm looking for the clearest trend that is near where we are. Right, and if we zoom in slightly here, I just want to show you how strong this trend is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touch trend line. There's the trend line. I'm ready. When this thing breaks, I'm in. Right, so I'm already starting to look at what are these trades going to be. There's Cardano. This looks like if the market breaks up today, this is going to be one of the first altcoins to break out. Right, so again, let's speak about the breakout and the trade execution. So something like this, okay, I'm looking for a close, okay, for me to fill the full position. So if I see this token starts to move through and break this trend today, okay, I have no problem entering 30% of what I wanted to buy. Okay, because the candle hasn't closed yet, and putting a stop loss below the previous candle. Okay, once I see that we've closed outside the trend, it's very likely I'll enter up to 70% of the position, because now it's a close outside, leaving the stop loss below. Okay, so again, here, let's put it through, pop this through. There's the stop loss now once we break through. Once we break this high here, because what's the problem right now on the 4 hour? What's the problem? Right, is we have lower highs everywhere. Okay, so for me, the first higher high is quite important. Okay, so when we break through here now, I'm executing and I have a stop loss below. The moment we break this high, okay, gives me an understanding to move stop loss to entry, and if I want to buy more into the position, I can. Then what I'm looking for, okay, is once we break through here, we'll stop at some point. Right, because again, I'm expecting Bitcoin to go possibly up to 100K from that push. So we push, we stop, we come down. And once we have the secondary push, right, will give me an understanding of putting a strong trend line to hold this thing for as long as it wants to. This I'll go through a little bit later as that plays out. For today, though, it's looking at the buys, right? So as you go through a bunch of your alts here, some of them are further. So something like AVAX is one token that I don't have to trade right now. I have a few days. Where Cardano is a little bit more urgent when it breaks through. I want to catch it early, right? If I look at Dogecoin, right? If I look at Chainlink, here's Chainlink here on this side too. Chainlink's actually on the other side, telling us that this could be a nice little buy today, right? Put the stop below over here too. Aptos, it's the buys. One I told you guys yesterday, right? There we are bouncing on the trend. This is one token I'd look for some trades today, right? Stop loss below, Okay, so it's just about tracking all these alts. We haven't broken this one yet. So let me just draw the correct trend. There we go. Just put it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there is the 5th touch over there. Good trend. This one's hours away. When that breaks out, I have an understanding. Render, one of the stronger tokens. Why? Because NVIDIA's earnings are coming out today. Right, and this is a critical one. I know if it goes bad, we're probably looking at a wick. I don't know how correlated the Bitcoin and stock markets are right now. Okay, because stock markets have been so bullish for the last few weeks, and Bitcoin's been, or altcoins have been bearish, right? But things are indicating possibly good news. We'll see. Maybe that sparks the market up today, right? But if you look at a bunch of these alts, look how close they are to the trends. This is easy money for me. As a trader, these are the easiest trades you get in the market, right? Is these ones where they've accumulated multiple touch 4-hour breakouts here. This is where I make the most, right? Just to show you guys as an example, when this breaks out here, this is where the easier trades for me. So though for you, those of you that are still left in the market, well done on still being here. I believe you're going to have easier trades now than what they were previously, because previously we kind of, things have popped up. Let's try buy some, right? Try be a little bit, try catch the leftovers. Here is, there's a breakout on ejective. Right. Remember, guys, for me, the altcoin lows in. The lows are in my opinion. I don't think we're going low on altcoins. Altcoins are only coming down and filling the wick. Right. So there's going to be brilliant trades of up to 100, 200%. And if you catch any of these things on leverage, and the key with leverage is to go slowly, right, until things start to play out. Here's another one, 𝗬𝗏. I love charts like this. Absolutely love charts like this. Is this not the market cycle? It is, right? Euphoria, drop, panic, denial, depression, right? So again, if I want to find trends here, is this one valid? No, it's not, right? So where is the trend to be valid? The one that is nearest to where we are with the most touches. 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. Amazing. We break that trend. That is the trade that I want to take. When I see that this big drop here, remember, I'm expecting us to pump to mid-range. So from here, push up to 6 points. That's a 50% trade. Put the line in. Get ready to make your money back, right? Super, super, super important. As we go down, let's see if there's anything else interesting here. There is a bit of a fetch breakout. So let's see if it has. Not yet. There's the trend. Okay, let's go down the list over here too. We're speaking about a couple. Let's speak about XRP. XRP looks terrible, actually. Obviously a token that had a crazy run. So this is a token not the most exciting for me right now, other than investing. Okay, so you can see the difference between tokens that are closer to trends. This one's still quite far versus they're not. So if I wanted to make some money back now, okay, I'll be paying attention to things like Cardano, to the Doges, to the Solanas, to the Dashes, to the 𝗬𝗏s, to the Injectives, to the 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗏s. Right, these are tokens for me. I'll be paying attention for some trades if I want to make pure money. The rest of the market is on special, and there's opportunities everywhere to accumulate for the long-term bags. Once we have this next decision, guys, I will be relaunching and getting back into my Bitfunded accounts. I want to unlock a lot of money for when this market goes bullish again. So the main thing is I want to pass the accounts. I just want to get on the other side of the trend lines, and then I'm super pumped. I'm still buying bots. I'm still accumulating everything. But the big thing for me right now is to educate, improve, and sharpen the damn tools. Okay, guys, again, reminder, join the best community in the world. This is the most hyped thing for me right now, and the most biggest attention to do is to get you guys all into one place. Join the community. Click on the link below for 𝗦𝗏𝗔 Club below, and it's gone free for you guys. Super pumped. Click this over here and get into the waiting list, and we're going to start distributing everything. And I would say in about 2 to 3 weeks from now, everyone is in. Okay, but don't be surprised if we start releasing tomorrow. And as you're on the list, we are going to be bringing people into the markets. Guys, have an absolute incredible day. I'll chat to you tomorrow with more setups. Let's give it today, see where we're at. Let's get NVIDIA earnings through. And then tomorrow we're back again for daily action and getting ready for the next major move. Lots of love, guys. Chat to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.